Original 106 Breakfast with Thomson Fly and Bournemouth Airport. Fly to Salzburg 3 times per week.
Good morning, it's 7 minutes past 7. It's New Breakfast on Original 106 with Tommy Boyd and the team. Rachel along in another 10-15 minutes with an update on the news headlines. A lot going on in the world today, Emma. The police are fearing as many as 7 bodies may be discovered as they investigate some appalling goings on many years ago at a home in Jersey, so we'll be keeping across that. The Inland Revenue are under the spotlight for paying an informant £100,000 to steal information. This is almost beyond belief, but it's in their charter that they may to steal information from a bank abroad about British tax avoiders. The Housing Minister, Caroline Flint, is due to announce today that all homes in future are to be built with old people in mind.
Right.
Which means a downstairs bathroom, not just a loo.
Okay, a full bathroom.
And a stair that is wide enough to take one of them lifts.
No.
Interesting, isn't it?
Oh, wow.
Good morning from Original 106. Here's Texas. The Original 106 Travel Centre is Anna Love, and she'll be along in just 10 minutes with a full first bulletin into breakfast on the state of the roads this morning, which are icy. If you spot anything, 81800 is the text number. If you start your message on air, and just like the road and the junction would do, and we'll get Anna onto it and get the information out there. Rachel will be along with more news in about 10 minutes time. But what we like to start the show off with, Emma, is something that makes everybody laugh.
Good.
And I found a bunch of these prank calls that they're particularly good at in Australia. and South Africa, and the Americans, of course. And I've got a real beauty here for you.
Okay, good.
Which will make your toe curl, and
right.
it will also make you laugh enormously as well. Okay, so let me just...
Hello, Lois, this is Mike. I'm the personnel director here at your husband's work.
Oh, hi, how are you?
I'm fine, and how are you?
Fine.
Lois, are you sitting down?
Yes?
Well, I have some bad news.
What do you mean bad news? Bob's okay, isn't he?
Well, actually, that's why I called to talk to you. It's about Bob, and I know that he's been an employee here for a very long time, but I'm afraid we're going to have to let Bob go.
What do you mean? Wait, that's not very fair. He's been very loyal to you.
Look, I can understand you feeling that way.
Feeling that way? You don't understand. We just had a baby.
No, I understand that.
This is a very hard time to do this kind of a thing.
Yes, it is, but Bob has kind of forced our hand on this.
Why are you firing him?
We caught him doing his secretary on his office desk.
Oh, that son of a bitch!
Look, I know you're upset.
Upset is not the word. That stupid, rotten son of a bitch. I can't believe this.
He's on his way home right now, and he's going to need your support.
Put my I'm going to change the locks on the door. I'm throwing his outside on the front lawn. He can just have it all. I'm not even going to be here when he gets back. And now, I don't feel so bad about his brother.
Lewis.
Casey and Ron, it's a joke. Your husband put us up. It's your birthday. Happy birthday!
No way.
Oh, now I don't feel so bad about having his brother.
Oh, dear.
Baby. 13 minutes past 7. I hope that made you actually laugh out loud. That's the idea. One night only. And just for tonight. Morning from the Breakfast Gang on Original 106.
The plains, the lights spill out of cold. No one knows where they take us. We'll search till we grow old. All the paths they lead to a single solemn place. Then we'll stay for a weekend and leave without a trace. Just for tonight. Just maybe we made it. Sing like you want this. Sing like you want this. Just for tonight. Just maybe we made it. Sing like you want this. Sing like you want this. You need this, and you want to. All the paths they lead to a little standing place. If you stay for a weekend, you leave without the trace. Just for tonight, just maybe we've made it. Like you want this. Just for tonight. Just maybe we've made it. Sing like you want this. Sing like you want this. Just for tonight. Just for tonight. Just maybe we made it. Sing like you want this. Sing like you want this. Just for tonight. Just maybe we made it. Sing like you want this.
See, that radio prank that we played just before One Night Only, just for tonight, is just what people are really like. There's nothing hugely shocking there. Every marriage exists with those two sort of layers of the relationship, the total love and the total hate.
Yeah, indeed.
She loves him so enormously that when she finds out he's been fired, she's just all over, beside herself, and full of praise for his loyalty and what a decent, upright citizen he is. And then as soon as she finds out that it's because he's been having his secretary, the son of a bitch, change the locks, throw his stuff out.
Too right.
And then that great line, I don't feel so bad about being with his brother, is, well,
Love it.
fantastic.
You need a backup plan.
Absolutely great. So we'll get another guaranteed laugh for you around about the same time tomorrow morning on New Breakfast on Original 106. It's Tommy Boyd and Emma is here. We have the latest news on the roads in about 4 or 5 minutes time. All important with an icy morning. The gritters were out. It's that's at 7:20, along with another burst of the very latest news headlines. On Friday, we were running a text quiz, which is, who is the boxer who was originally called the Hitman? We're giving away tickets to meet Ricky Hatton and Frank Bruno, back in the news because he's being used as emotional advisor to Paul Gascoigne. We'll come back to that. Ricky Hatton and Frank Bruno. The text question is, who was the boxer who originally used the nickname the Hitman? Just text his initials, that will do it. 81800 is the text number, and you start your message with the 2 words on air. It comes straight through to me in the studio. We had 70, 80 or so correct answers, which impressed me,
Wow,
frankly, on
that's good.
Friday, because it's a serious boxing person's question, I think. So 70 or 80, and we're going to run it through today as well. So you haven't missed out. If you know the name of the boxer who was originally called the Hitman, 81800, start your message with on air. And alongside that, our text poll this morning is on British foreign policy.
Oh, okay.
An important issue. Always an important issue. And what we're asking this morning, and you can text in your suggestion on this, at the moment we are involved in military activity in 2 countries up front and probably several behind the scenes. British foreign policy has us in Iraq, it has us in Afghanistan. Now, setting aside the bring home the boys issue, my question to you listening is this: which country would you like us to invade next? What?
Are you really going to go with it?
It's a serious way of
Okay.
examining how we regard the rest of the world.
Right.
It might sound a little tabloid, but what
Okay.
we'll be able to do is produce
Right.
a kind of an encyclopedia of which countries our listener believes
Okay.
most deserve our influence. I
Ah,
could say.
right.
You could text Korea, because apparently both Britain and the United States have concerns about Korea's policy regarding nuclear weapons. So you might
Yeah.
care for us to get involved in Korea. Or, of course, Iran, where there are similar concerns.
Or Mugabe as well.
Or Zimbabwe.
You know,
Exactly.
Can you see the
point
I see
here?
where you're coming now, Tommy.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
give you the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, this sounds a little bit like Blokes Down the Pub, which it can be, but it's actually a serious examination of how we prioritise the use of our influence abroad and our money. So text which country you would next like us to invade. 81800 is the text number, and if you start your message with on air, and if your thumbs are feeling up to it this morning, you might like to text your reasoning. Argentina, of course, still lay claim to the Malvinas, or it might just be a country that you find particularly annoying, like Belgium.
Yes, I've had 2 trips there recently.
Exactly. Or, since they're all in Iraq, I would imagine that the United States is pretty vulnerable at the moment. We could probably get America back, you know, with a couple of busloads of SAS. It's got a good way of finding out how people regard the rest of the world,
Okay.
and how they also regard the importance of our influence abroad. So that's the text quiz. This morning on New Breakfast on Original 106, 81800, start your message on air, the country you would like us to get involved with next, and also if you know the name of the boxer who was originally nicknamed the Hitman. Once again, that text is 81800, start your message with on air. Just gone 7:20, let's get the very latest news. from Rachel.
2 separate police investigations have been launched in Dorset following attacks on the same Bournemouth Road. A 38-year-old died from serious head injuries after being attacked near to the Dolphin Pub on Holdenhurst Road yesterday. Officers are questioning a 29-year-old man on suspicion of murder. And a 22-year-old's being questioned about an assault outside the Subway food outlet yesterday morning, which resulted in a teenager needing hospital treatment. It's feared more grim discoveries could be made at a site in Jersey where a child's body was found. Police investigating child abuse on the island found the skeleton at a youth hostel in St Martin. There's growing concern for the safety of people living near a Hampshire housing estate. Residents of Tegdown Meads in Winchester claim that lives are being put at risk because of speeding motorists. Hollywood's big night proved a good one for the Brits. Daniel Day-Lewis has collected the Best Actor prize for There Will Be Blood, while Tilda Swinton won Best Supporting Actress for Michael Clayton. And in sport, Tottenham Hotspur fans are celebrating their Carling Cup victory. Spurs won 2-1 to lift their first trophy for 9 years. Onto the South's weather, hazy sunshine with cloud thickening later. I'm Rachel Tregenza at the Original 106 News Centre.
Traffic update from Original 106. Don't ever drink and drive. Think Hampshire Road Safety.
How are those roads looking, Anna?
Well, slow traffic on the M3 this morning, northbound between junction 14 for the M27 and junction 12 for Eastleigh. Starting to build on the A27 Western Road between the junction 12 for the M27 and the A3, which is the Southampton Road. And do watch out for those roadworks on the M27. They are likely to slow you down between Portsmouth and Fareham. The speed has been restricted there to 50 miles an hour. And roadworks have also just begun elsewhere on the M27. This time both ways between junction 3 for the M271 and 4 for Southampton. Apparently they're putting in 2 extra lanes there, and once again the speed has been restricted to around about 50 miles an hour. No further problems on the planes, trains or ferries this morning. Anything else that you do spot, do give us a call here on the Original 106 Travel Centre, 08454 660 106.
Have you seen that?
What, darling?
That on my Astra.
It's only next door's cat. Oh, Black Cat's supposed to be good luck? Or is it bad luck?
I tell you, it's going to be bad luck for the cat.
Buying a used car? Don't leave it to luck. At Vauxhall Network Q, our ownership promise confirms your car's mileage and history, giving you complete peace of mind. Visit your local Vauxhall Network Q retailer or go to networkq.co.uk. Network Q. Used cars you can rely on.
Oi, Mr. Tiddles, shoot! I know where you live!
Original 106 Breakfast with Thompson Fly and Bournemouth Airport. Fly to Palmer 6 times per week.
Last year, Business South, the South's premier business-to-business event, empowered more than 2,000 business professionals with the knowledge and contacts to help develop and grow their business. This year, you too could benefit. Business South 2008 comes to St Mary's Stadium, Southampton on March the 5th and 6th, and it's completely free. It's your chance to learn from the experts on key business issues, benchmark your competitors, and identify new business opportunities. Business South 2008 at St Mary's Stadium, Southampton on March the 5th and 6th. Admission is free. For fast-track entry, pre-register online now at original106.com.
My perfect weekend? It would be on the Norfolk Broads in a cosy boat made for 2. We'd pull up somewhere quiet and listen to the peace and the gently lapping water, drink a good bottle of wine, eat some great old-fashioned food, like stew and dumplings, and then just cuddle up. Bliss.
Discover romantic English weekends from the people who've had them. England's best-kept secrets revealed at enjoyengland.com.
Original
7. Good morning. This from Jason. A lorry has gone over on the A31 spilling paper, pens, rulers and safety clips. The area is stationary.
Oh.
That's all right. Okay, a couple of correct guesses on the boxer who was originally called the Hitman, before Ricky Hatton. But it wasn't Marvin Hagler, whoever that is. Thanks for that. Our Andy in Clanfield, well done, you got it right. And looking at British foreign policy, which country do you think we should invade next? Text 81800. Start your message on air. Brand new heavies and spend some time. 81800. Start your message on air. Morning.
I had a picture of you in my head. It kept me warm when you were not there. You made me laugh, made me feel like a child. To see your smile, made everything was right.
Brand new heavies and Spend Some Time. You're tuned to New Breakfast on Original 106 with Tommy Boyd and the team. One question this morning is British foreign policy. Which country should we invade next? And Keith's on the line from Gosport. Keith.
Yeah, I think we should invade Zimbabwe because I reckon it'd be good to invade a country that doesn't have oil for a change.
Powerful point. Thank you, sir. A student of foreign policy. Where are you this morning?
I'm queuing to get onto the M27 on my way to Worthing, so I'll be there about 11 o'clock.
Oh, no.
Thanks for your call, fella.
Okay, bye-bye.
It's 08454 660 106 is the number. You can text. Which country do you think we should invade or get involved with next?
Yes, we're not advocating war or anything.
No, no, no. And we don't
I see where you're going.
We don't take lightly the business of British troops risking all on our behalf. However, a good way of crystallising our view of the world and other foreign countries is to ask the question simply, which country should we invade next? We're in Iraq, we're in Afghanistan, we're probably in several other countries as well that we don't know about quite what's going on there.
Peacekeeping forces and stuff.
And James Bond activity.
Oh, yeah.
But we're talking about which country should we maximise our influence over next. Korea is a thought. Zimbabwe, Keith made a good point there. There's Iran as well, which some people are concerned about. Then there are countries that simply deserve it. As far as we're concerned, men think like this for no apparent reason.
Yes.
We don't like Argentina. We pretend it's because of their stance on the Malvinas, but actually it's because they're annoyingly good at football.
It's still that hand of God incident, isn't it?
Yeah.
Come on.
You can text 81800, start your message with on air. Let's have a look. Yeah, once again, Zimbabwe comes up on the old text. Oh, and Leo, you're correct on the boxing quiz question. Who was the boxer who was originally nicknamed the Hitman before Ricky Hatton? 81800, start your message with on air. And this from Paul, he says Greece.
Greece?
He says
it's a rationale?
Well, I think he's thinking that it would be good to have control over a country that had a good climate, a good holiday, a resort climate.
Okay.
So that we could drive the prices of a holiday in Greece down even further, which is a flippant way of looking at it, but this is a democracy, okay? This programme.
Yes.
Thank you for that, 81800. Good weekend?
Brilliant weekend, thank you.
Your old man was away at a magic conference.
I had an all-girl weekend.
Yeah.
Hang on, maybe I should rephrase that, but yeah, I did.
Long time since I had an all-girl weekend. Did he learn any new tricks in Blackpool?
Well, I haven't seen them yet, put it that way, but I'm sure he did, yeah.
Okay. I've been looking very carefully at some of the issues facing planet Earth at the moment, and I've done some original research into what I consider to be a completely anonymous threat to the planet. Anonymous in that it is not known or understood by anybody.
Okay.
We all know about aircraft and the massive impact they have on everybody's carbon footprint, and ditto cars. We're concerned, aren't we, about keeping our central heating bills down because we want to pay less and we want to reduce our carbon footprint.
Yeah.
But I've been looking into the amount of carbon dioxide that is created by the London Marathon.
Right.
With people exhaling as much carbon dioxide as they do for 4 hours in the capital. And 30,000 of them. And if I cut to the chase, and I'll explain a little bit more about my genuine concern over this, because when we breathe out, we're breathing out carbon dioxide.
Of course, yeah.
Which is the main greenhouse gas. Now, normally, we breathe out a certain amount of carbon dioxide during the course of a day, breathing in a sedentary fashion.
Yes.
Okay, for 24 hours. When we're asleep, we're hardly creating any carbon dioxide. If we run up the stairs, we create 4 times as much carbon dioxide because we need 4 times as much oxygen as we would do if we were sitting still or using the lift. Okay. Do you want to have a stab? No, I'll tell you. Did you know, you didn't know, that we create a pound in weight of carbon dioxide every day just by exhaling?
No.
Is that a lot or what?
That's a lot.
Isn't it a lot?
Very scientific.
I know.
My goodness.
So I've been looking into how much extra carbon dioxide is created by a human being running for 4 hours.
I see, right.
If you run for 4 hours, you create an extra 5 pounds. 5 pounds. That's 2.5 bags of sugar of carbon dioxide. 30,000 runners running the London Marathon create 66, wait for it, tons.
No.
Tons. 66 tons. Okay, that's about 4 juggernauts full of carbon dioxide.
Yeah.
It is the equivalent, okay, of 200 planes, wide-bodied jets taking off.
God.
Just with people exhaling running the London Marathon. And you know the congestion charge that Ken Livingstone has got going on in London? Right. If you drive a Porsche, okay, you have to pay extra because you're creating 225 grams of carbon per kilometre that you drive.
Right, I see.
Okay, but 5 men going for a jog create more carbon than that. 5 men. 5 men jogging are making more carbon per kilometre than a Porsche Carrera.
Blimey.
Alright, this is all original stuff.
Yeah.
And did you know any of that?
Knew nothing of it.
25 to 8. Jersey police are bracing themselves today to make more horrific discoveries on the island in connection with an investigation into child abuse. At 22 minutes to 9, it's Original 106, New Breakfast with Tommy Boyd and the team. And the government today are set to announce that all new homes are to be built with the ageing population in mind. That means wider stairways, downstairs bathrooms, 13 or 14, I think it is, Emma, total provision, that new homes are to incorporate so that people can live in them when they're past their best.
Yeah, well, that's cool, because we're living longer, you see, so...
Considerably longer. A man in 1960, aged 65, could expect to live for another 11 years.
Right.
Whereas our children, according to official statistics, can expect to spend a third of their life in retirement.
God, that's interesting, isn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, hence that. We're also tracking the inland revenue of this country, paying £100,000 to a crook, by all accounts, in Liechtenstein.
Right.
For information leading to them being able to recover millions of pounds in avoided taxes. Evaded taxes, beg your pardon. I always struggle with that one, evasion and avoidance. Tax evasion.
Yeah, right.
In Liechtenstein. And we're asking the question, A, who was the boxer originally nicknamed the Hitman before Ricky Hatton, 81800. It's a text thing. Start your message with on air, 81800. And we're also asking, which country do you think we should get involved in terms of our foreign policy next? We're in Iraq, and we are doing noble deeds in Afghanistan, but you might care to suggest Korea. We've had Zimbabwe suggested already, and Greece, slightly tongue-in-cheek suggestion there. But there is, of course, Iran, which some people believe is presenting a problem. I've got this from Jason. When Germany invaded Poland, we went straight in to help, whereas now the Poles have invaded us. But they're opening some smashing shops in the high street. He says, let's invade Jeopardy. Apparently there are lots of jobs there. Because that's what they say, isn't it?
Oh dear, good, very good.
100,000 jobs are in jeopardy. Very good, Jason. Thank you for that.
Very smart.
It's quick, isn't it? 81800 is the text number. Start your message with the words on air. 20 to 8, let's get the very latest news. Rachel.
Dorset police have arrested 2 men in connection with 2 separate attacks on the same road in Bournemouth. A 29-year-old is being questioned over the murder of a 38-year-old man outside the Dolphin pub on Holdenhurst Road yesterday, and a 22-year-old's been arrested after an assault on a teenager near to the Subway food outlet yesterday. Police excavating a youth hostel in Jersey, where a child's body was found, are investigating 6 more so-called hotspots. Residents of a Winchester housing estate are demanding action from the council over speeding motorists. People living in Tegdown Meads are concerned that drivers are regularly exceeding the speed limit. Daniel Day-Lewis and Tilda Swinton have swept Britain to Oscar glory. Day-Lewis won the Best Actor award, while Tilda Swinton secured Best Supporting Actress. And in sport, Tottenham manager Juan de Ramos allowed his players to party last night after beating Chelsea 2-1 at Wembley in the Carling Cup final. To the south weather, hazy sunshine with cloud thickening later, a high of 11 degrees. I'm Rachel Tregenza at the Original 106 News Centre.
Traffic update from Original 106. Always wear your seatbelt. Think Hampshire Road Safety.
Anna.
Well, slow traffic remains on the M3 this morning between junction 14 for the M27 and junction 12 for Eastleigh. Also heavy on the M27 if you are headed westbound between Hedge End and Eastleigh again. And it's slow moving both ways on the M27 at the moment between junction 3 for the M271 and 4 for Southampton. That's down to those roadworks there. The speed has been restricted to 50 miles an hour. You can also expect delays at the moment on the M271 if you are heading northbound between junctions 1 and 3 for Romsey. Elsewhere, congestion remains on Old Market Road heading onto Old Market Way. That's in Chichester. But no further problems on the planes, trains or the ferries this morning. Anything else that you do spot, call the Original 106 Travel Centre 08454 660 106.
The new Audi A4 has an option called Drive Select. It's a feature that lets you choose from 3 different driving modes to suit your driving style. Each one sees the road slightly differently. Choose the dynamic mode and the car will feel sportier and more responsive. Comfort mode makes for a drive that feels altogether more relaxing, while automatic mode lets the car decide which mode is best suited for the road conditions. The new Audi A4 sees things before you do. Audi. Vorsprung durch Technik.
Original 106 Breakfast with Thompson Fly and Bournemouth Airport. Fly to Alicante 5 times per week.
I loved my job until one day I slipped and my knee. It's not just my knee that's shattered. My whole life has been... I can't work, so my earnings have been... And it really hurts. But the most painful thing of all is that it could have easily been avoided.
To stop lives being shattered by slips, trips or falls at work, visit the Health and Safety Executive's website, hse.gov.uk/shattered lives. Don't chance it. Change it.
You're making a difference. You're making the world a better place for me. You're making electricity.
Even on a cloudy day, you could get the power your home needs from a sun-powered energy system. You could get a government grant of up to £2,500. And once installed, your sun-powered energy costs you nothing. Conditions apply. Sun-powered energy systems. DTI accredited for your peace of mind. See us at sunpowered.co.uk or get a quote by calling 08000 18 22 12.
Because the future is sun-powered.
fantastic. Bought a new pair of shoes, had a hairdo, got food for tonight. Oh, and I got us a great deal on the mortgage.
When it's so easy to get stressed about rising interest rates, isn't it refreshing to find a mortgage shop where you can relax? Where mortgage advisors talk your language and really do have your best interests at heart. The Place for Mortgages. Thousands of mortgage deals from hundreds of providers and advice that really makes sense. The Place for Mortgages. Call 0845 226 8192 or click changingmymortgage.com.
Zimbabwe has gone into the lead as the country that we would most like to get involved in. I hesitate to say invade, but it sums it up quite nicely. We're looking at British foreign policy, amongst other things, this morning on New Breakfast on Original 106. If you want to text the country that you'd most like us to invade, 81800 is the text number. Start your message with on air. This would be intriguing. Scotland, Wales and Ireland.
Okay.
Text a listener anonymously, and that would be fun, wouldn't it? To re-exert our influence over Scotland and Wales.
Ooh.
As they get so, I don't know, it seems to me, precious about their own identities and their need to escape from our tyranny. What tyranny is that? We're supporting, I would have thought, financially, Wales in particular, enormously.
Yeah.
With resources. Then there's the Isle of Wight. Would the Isle of Wight like to invade the mainland?
Well, can you imagine that? I don't think so.
No. They're very happy all by themselves, aren't they, doing what they do. Here's the text number. It's 81800. Start your message with on air, which country you believe we should invade next. And also, if you know the name of the boxer who was originally nicknamed the Hitman before Ricky Hatton, we're giving away tickets for what promises to be a terrific evening. Give you a chance to meet. It's an evening with one of those. And it's Ricky Hatton and Frank Bruno. 13 minutes to 8. Kate Nash. Listen to the words in this if you can. This is so cute. It's called Merry Happy.
Watching me like you never watched no one. Don't tell me that you didn't try and check out my bum, 'cause I know that you did, 'cause your friend told me that you liked it. Gave me those pearls and I thought they were ugly. Don't you try and tell me that you never loved me. I know that you did, 'cause you said it and you wrote it down. Dancing at discos, eating cheese on toast. Yeah, you made me merry, made me very, very happy. But you obviously, you didn't want to stick around. Dancing at discos, eating cheese on toast. Yeah, you made me merry, made me very, very happy. But you obviously, you didn't want to stick around. So I learned from you. Do, 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 da-do, do, 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 da-do, do, 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 da-do, do. I can be alone, yeah, I can watch a sunset on my own. I can be alone, yeah, I can watch a sunset on my own. I can be alone, I can watch a sunset on my own. I can be alone, yeah, I can watch a sunset on my own. I can be alone, yeah, I can watch a sunset on my own. I can be alone, I can watch a sunset on my own. Sitting in restaurants, thought we were so grown up, but I know now that we were not the people that we turned out to be. Chatting on the phone, can't take back those hours, but I won't regret, 'cause you can grow flowers from where dirt used to be. Dancing at discos, eating cheese on toast. Yeah, you made me merry, made me very, very happy. But you obviously, you didn't want to stick around. Dancing at discos, eating cheese on toast. Yeah, you made me merry, made me very, very happy. But you obviously, you didn't want to stick around. So I learned from you. Do, 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 da-do, do, 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 da-do, do, 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 da-do, do. Sunset on my own, I can be alone, yeah, I can watch a sunset on my own, I can be alone, I can watch a sunset on my own, I can be alone, yeah, I can watch a sunset on my own, I can be alone, yeah, I can watch a sunset on my own, I can be alone, I can watch a sunset on my own.
as hell. It's Kate Nash. It's got the lot, including sort of one of those endings that are very trendy nowadays for a tune. Very happy. That is, it's 10 to 8, New Breakfast, Original 106. Tommy Boyd and the congregation. You can get involved. I'll do details in just a second on how you do that. Questions that are out there this morning include, which country do you think we should attack or invade next? And it's our way of crystallising the debate about British foreign policy in a kind of cheeky, tongue-in-cheek way. We've had Zimbabwe, Greece, Scotland, Wales and Ireland.
Yes, I know.
I don't know who wants to invade Ireland. That never worked before. So, you know, but Scotland with all that North Sea oil and the fact that we probably paid for an awful lot of what Scotland has to offer nowadays already, and they want to go solo. Why? It's just a pride thing, isn't it? And that's just silly, isn't it? And wasn't Braveheart a terrible film?
Yeah, they're going to send in Mel Gibson to defend us. That's very concerning.
I would like to invade the United States of America.
Why?
Because I think they're vulnerable at the moment to a conventional invasion with all their troops in Baghdad. And because I think they've got it coming. And also, I'd like to punch above my weight. My father said, never get involved with anybody smaller than yourself. He said that it's demeaning and there's no satisfaction involved. So invading Wales, I'm afraid, that's for wusses.
Aim high.
But I think that if we simply filled a bunch of liners with British troops, you know, Cunard, and disguised them as holidaymakers, we could be across Florida and well into Virginia before the Americans knew what was going on. And they haven't got anybody apart from a bunch of fat state troopers to defend the whole country at the moment. They've got no conventional defences whatsoever. They've got their Minutemen still pointing at Moscow, but they couldn't bat us off.
True.
So it's a thought, isn't it?
And
after all, it is ours.
Yeah, well, this is what we go back to.
They stole it, didn't they, when King George III was having bladder problems. Do you remember?
Really?
8 minutes to 8. Terrible business in the football on Saturday with Eduardo.
Yeah, no, I saw that. I'm not a huge footy fan, but I saw the highlights of that terrible injuries, of his broken leg or whatever. You know, I don't know much about football, but I do feel a bit sorry for that guy that obviously he was clumsy with that tackle or whatever, but he has been vilified a little bit, hasn't he, by Arsenal. That Arsenal manager had a bit of a tirade about him.
Here's what I want to know. What exactly were the instructions given to the Birmingham players? If you don't know much about football, I'll quickly explain. Birmingham City are a struggling Premiership team of yeomen, stout-hearted yeomen. Good athletes, strong, solid, largely English players. Arsenal are an absolute elite team. Arguably the prettiest footballers on the country, in the world at the moment. Most teams, when they're playing Arsenal, decide to go and give them a little bit in the first 10 minutes to make the Arsenal players fear for their ankles, so that they jump around a little bit and might not be so consummate on the ball. Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay, right.
It goes on. It's normal.
Yeah.
It's what every football manager would do who doesn't have the talent in his team to match the talent of the other team, is to say, well, we'll match them for muscle then.
I see, okay.
Now, the question is, what did McLeish, the ex-Scotland, now manager of Birmingham, and he's a hard lad, he knows which way's up. What did he actually say to his players before they went out? Did he say, get stuck in? Did he say, tap a few ankles? Did he say, let's knock somebody over and get a yellow card in the first 5 minutes, just so that they know exactly what they've got coming for the remaining 90 minutes?
Right.
Did he say that? What did he say? Because if he said, get stuck in, if he said, put the fear of God up them, then he's in large part responsible for what happened. He is. Because if you're an employee, you do what your employer asks you to do.
I suppose that's true, yeah.
Even if it's sailing close to the wind. Even if it's driving at a steady 42 in a 40-mile-an-hour zone, because they need you to get to the next job in time, you do it, don't you?
I suppose you would.
As the employee.
Yeah.
Because you're prepared to take your risks against what the law might do, compared to what your employer might do. So I think we should find out. It would be nice to know what the lad McLeish had to say before they went out to play Arsenal. Your comments gratefully received. If you get a moment to email, I'll do the email address shortly. Texting is a great way of getting in touch. 81800. Start your message on air. And this, how about invading our own country and sorting it out before even thinking about getting involved in other countries' problems? Are we in a mess?
I don't know.
Well, lot of people like to think the country's going down the toilet, but it's not.
No, that's British negativity,
Country's
isn't it?
flying. We're flying. What is the matter? It's a beautiful Monday morning and it's 5 to 8. It's New Breakfast on Original 106. Here's the Adventures in Broken Land. Morning.
These reels run too deep. With schemes of men, days that lay ahead. They sell their souls so cheap. They breed mistrust, fill my heart with dread. When did the boy become a man? Lose his life to love. So much confusion to this plan. These times are not changing. Show me the love to keep us together. Open up your hearts, don't tell me the way. Comfort me through this stormy weather, where I stand. I see a broken land. This boy has learned to fail. In times like these, Christ seems so absurd. His own life's crisis. In the shadow of this truly dying world. These are the games we played at school. Our hands raised in despair, with no exception to the rule. These times are not changing. Show me the love to keep us together. Open up your hearts, don't tell me the way. Comfort me through this stormy weather, where I stand. I see your broken land. Where is the love to keep us together? Open up your hearts, don't turn me away.
That's the Adventures and Broken Land morning from the New Breakfast crew on Original 106. Talking about which countries, focusing ourselves on British foreign policy, we are focusing on which country we think we ought to invade next. And Keith has been completely tongue-in-cheek and says Denmark. That way we could treble our supply of Lego bricks at a stroke. Because they do go missing all over the place, don't they, Lego bricks?
God, they're everywhere. Stuck in the Hoover most of the time in my house.
Yeah, they turn up for 20 years. Lego bricks.
Original 106 Breakfast with Thomson Fly and Bournemouth Airport. Fly to Malaga 6 times per week. Traffic update from Original 106. Wake up to the signs of tiredness. Think Hampshire Road Safety.
M3 was chocker earlier. Anna.
It was, yeah. Well, queuing traffic on the M27 at the moment and one lane block. That was down to an earlier collision between Junction 4 for Southampton and Junction 3 for Romsey. Do watch out for that one. The A351 Wareham in Dorset, that's currently blocked as well due to another collision at Walgett Road. And slow moving traffic on the M3 this morning, as you just said, between Junction 14 for the M27 and 12 for Eastleigh. Elsewhere on the M27, it's slow moving westbound between Hedge End and Eastleigh. And very, very heavy, not only down to the collision, but the roadworks 6 as well, both ways between junction 3 and 4 for Southampton. You can also expect delays on the M271 if you are heading northbound between junctions 1 and 3, once again for the Romsey area. Elsewhere, congestion remains on Market Road onto Market Way in Chichester. Anything else that you do spot, though, do let us know on the original 106 Travel Centre, 08454 660 106.
What can we do to reduce the pollution caused by jogging? That after the 8 o'clock news, which is next on Original 106 from Rachel Tregenza.
2 separate police investigations have been launched in Dorset following attacks on the same Bournemouth Road. A 38-year-old died from serious head injuries after being attacked near to the Dolphin Pub on Holdenhurst Road yesterday. Officers are questioning a 29-year-old man on suspicion of murder. Meanwhile, a teenager is being treated at Poole Hospital for head injuries. The 17-year-old was attacked on the same road outside the Subway food outlet yesterday morning. A 22-year-old man has been arrested in connection with the incident. Police excavating a youth hostel in Jersey, where a child's body was found, are investigating 6 more so-called hotspots. A sniffer dog detected the remains through several inches of concrete. Police found the skeleton after launching a major investigation into child abuse on the island. Vicar Peter Williams says the community's finding the news hard to come to terms with.
We know that evil is everywhere, but we are mystified in this community, and particularly because there's been such a huge elapse of years, many years ago.
A Hampshire cyclist is being treated for head injuries after a crash on the A3 near Cosham. The 20-year-old man was hit by a car on the Southampton Road last night, near to the junction with Weimering Lane. He's been taken to Queen Alexandra Hospital. The car driver, a 23-year-old woman from Waterlooville, has been treated for shock. There's growing concern for the safety of people living near a Hampshire housing estate. Residents of Takedown Meads in Winchester claim that lives are being put at risk because of speeding motorists. Drivers are understood to be frequently exceeding the 30-mile-per-hour limit. Annette Lodge, who lives in the area, says something needs to be done.
I would like to see some reminders of the speed limits and maybe some pinch points at the places where people speed, or even one of those signs that light up when people speed.
Daniel Day-Lewis and Tilda Swinton have swept Britain to Oscar glory. Day-Lewis took his second Best Actor award for The Ruthless Oilman in There Will Be Blood. Tilda Swinton secured Best Supporting Actress for Michael Clayton. But the biggest film of the night was Western No Country for Old Men. It grabbed 4 of its 8 nominations, including Best Film and Best Director, for director duo Ethan and Joel Coen. And Ethan paid tribute to the writer behind the original novel.
This is an unbelievable honor and a complete surprise. So many people have a part of this, chief among them Cormac McCarthy, who wrote a wonderful book that it was an honor to make into a movie.
Original 106 Business Briefing with Coffin New LLP. Quality legal services for your business and private life. Click coffinnew.co.uk.
In the city this morning, the FTSE 100 starts trading at 58.88. The pound is currently buying $1 and 96 cents and €1.32. House prices have fallen for the 5th month in a row. The average cost of a home in England and Wales is said to have fallen by 0.2% in February to £174,400. But there are signs demand is beginning to increase on the back of lower interest rates, according to property information group HomeTrack. A bank has made history by launching substantially discounted mortgages for those who install solar power. Ulster Bank says it's doing its bit for climate change by reducing householders' carbon footprints. And cheques are bouncing out of Britain's biggest retailer. Tesco won't accept them as a form of payment at its stores from today. On to sport, and the glory went to Tottenham Hotspur in the Carling Cup final. They won 2-1 to lift their first trophy for 9 years and continued to keep Juan de Ramos' record of winning every cup final he's been involved in. Former Chelsea and Tottenham midfielder Graham Roberts says he has nothing but praise for Juan de Ramos.
He's got the Midas touch. I've said all along this year that I think Tottenham will win the UEFA Cup. He gives players confidence. I think his fitness levels are fantastic.
Portsmouth are bordering on the edge of Europe after a win against Sunderland at the weekend. Pompey took victory at Fratton Park thanks to a late penalty by Jermaine Defoe. Southampton managed to scrape a point for new boss Nigel Pearson as they drew 1-1 with Scunthorpe in the Championship. Saints have yet to win a league game since George Burley left for Scotland. And Bournemouth manager Kevin Bond will be unhappy with the draw they got at home. The Cherries went from 2-0 up for Cheltenham to claw it back to salvage a point.
Original 106 weather. Don't let other mortgage companies cloud your financial future. Visit the place for mortgages. Click unlockthefuture.co.uk.
Hazy sunshine this morning after early mist patches clear. Cloud thickening later to bring a little rain in places. A moderate southwesterly wind and a high of 11 degrees. Check original106.com for our 5-day forecast. I'm Rachel Tregenza at the Original 106 News Centre.
Chrysler. Individual cars. Luxury cars. Designer cars. Like the 300C. You can't miss it. One of America's most awarded vehicles since launch. But whatever your style, the new Sebring or the sumptuous Grand Voyager, you design the deal to get your Chrysler your way. Way 1. Get up to 2,008 pounds off list price on selected models. Way 2. Get 4.9% APR on selected models. Way 3. Get peace of mind with 3 years free servicing. To get your Chrysler your way, visit chrysler.co.uk or text Chrysler to 83010. Chrysler. Designer cars where you design the deals.
Original 106 Breakfast with Thompson Fly and Bournemouth Airport. Fly to Prague 4 times per week.
Our text poll this morning is a dynamic way of focusing on British foreign policy. Which country do you think we ought to invade next? 81800 is the number. Start your message with on air. And our text quiz is, who was the boxer who was originally nicknamed the Hitman before Ricky Hatton? And funnily enough, here's Sugar Ray. Sugar Ray and Every Morning. Boxers are very fond of calling themselves Sugar, aren't they?
Yes.
Makes you wonder, doesn't it?
Well, yes. Right. It's not meant to be hard men.
Sugar Ray Robinson and Sugar Ray Leonard, and that is Sugar Ray and Every Morning. Ricky Damn. Ooh. Oops. Ignore that, what I just said. Ricky
It's not known as a cock-up.
Yeah, it was. Ricky Hatton uses the nickname Hitman, but who is the original boxer who called himself a Hitman? It's our text quiz this morning, 81800. Start your message with the words on air. And our way of focusing on British foreign policy and how influential we are and ought to be in the world in 2008 goes like this. Which country do you think we ought to influence, in brackets, invade, next? We've had Wales, Scotland, Ireland nominated.
Dear.
Zimbabwe, a very good point was made there.
That's the serious one, yeah.
Greece was suggested, and Denmark. So it tells us a lot about men, because I think it's only men who've gone along with the idea of helping shape British foreign policy this morning. Congratulations to Daniel Day-Lewis. What do we know about Daniel Day-Lewis besides that he won the Oscar last night?
Well, he's won a couple of Oscars before. I guess we know that, didn't he? My Left Foot springs to mind.
That was a good movie.
Christy Brown, yeah. That was good. It's been... Now, the thing is, he gave up showbiz, didn't he, to be a shoemaker for a while. There's a story going around that half the people walking the red carpet today are wearing his shoes, which I think's quite cute.
Well, okay.
Well, you know.
Dare I say, a load of old cobblers. Dare I say it, but that's what... Anyway.
I should have seen that coming.
You did rather walk into that one. I wonder whether you were presenting it up. So I thought, if I don't, then she'll only say when we get into the Hoosiers, why didn't you do the cobbler's gag?
Dear.
I've got a piece of him acting in There Will Be Blood.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And I've not seen or heard any of this, but apparently, once again, he got into the character and lived it, which is what he does, which must be very annoying. Very annoying.
Coming home for his tea, yeah.
Well, in the hotel.
Yeah.
Or sitting down for breakfast with the crew, and he's permanently this bloke that he plays, who apparently is extremely unpleasant and cynical.
Okay.
And, well, let's take a listen, shall we?
There are times when I look at people and I see nothing worth liking. I've built up my hatreds over the years, little by little. And I see the worst in people. I don't need to look past seeing them to get all I need. I want to earn enough money I can get away from everyone. I can't keep doing this on my own. With these, people.
There Will Be Blood, a little piece of Daniel Day-Lewis, who picked up the Oscar last night. Not his first, but third.
I think it's his third, didn't he? Did he get one for Last of the Mohicans?
That was a terrible film.
Do you know what? I didn't like Gangs in New York.
That was even worse.
He got too into character in that one. A little bit of overacting, dare I say it? Yes, I will. Overacting in that one.
He overacts. He overacted there. You could tell it was a man acting. This is a man acting.
Yeah,
okay.
You can see through it. Yeah.
With Anthony Hopkins, who goes on and on about being Welsh. He's so proud of being Welsh that he's become an American citizen. But he still never misses any opportunity to laud Wales, which is why he flew back to this country at the weekend to unveil a 9-foot-high bronze of Tommy Cooper.
Yeah.
And his purpose there is clearly to make sure that everybody knows that Tommy Cooper was Welsh. Which I did not know.
I didn't know that either.
And he certainly lost the accent along the way.
He just sort of brings back those dulcet tones when he needs it, doesn't he?
But the thing about if you're Welsh, you're forever Welsh. Then I wonder what... I don't care if Anthony Hopkins wants to pretend to be American, or for tax reasons, or because it might aid his chances of getting on in Los Angeles. The fact that he's a hell of an actor, you would have thought, is all he'd need. But I believe that he's become a naturalised American citizen. I don't know whether the girl Zeta Jones has done the same thing. But she's always banging on about being Welsh.
She is, because when she picked up her Oscar, she went oggy, oggy, oggy.
Did she?
Which I thought was quite a very sort of Max Wallish, wasn't it?
So, yeah, I see what you mean. It's 8:15, and a remarkable story reported in some of today's newspapers, so you may miss this, so I have to bring it to you. It is about a woman who runs a Jersey-based tortoise sanctuary.
Okay.
And because we've had a particularly mild winter, I can't do this with a straight face, because we've had a particularly mild winter, right? All her tortoises weren't hibernating.
Oh, shock horror.
Do you know what she's done?
What's she
and
done?
I've got a photograph to prove it, right?
Yeah. Go on.
Woohoo! This is fantastic. The temperature in Jersey didn't drop between 8 centigrade and 3 degrees centigrade, and they need to go down below that for them to hibernate, apparently.
Right. Go on. Oh, that is ridiculous.
And sharpening our view of ourselves and the rest of the world into the question, which country do you think we ought to invade next? Wales did come up on the list.
I knew this would happen.
And this from a Welshman. The reason you would want to invade Wales would be to learn how to play rugby.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, gosh, they turned over the Italians, the Welsh.
We did okay at the weekend, didn't we?
Well done, the Welsh.
We
They beat Italy. What next? Romania? Switzerland? Yeah, England just went to France and won.
Oh, no, it's starting.
Just going to France and winning. That's nothing, is it, compared to playing the Italians at home and just turning them over. Because those Italians could have been winning at half-time, and you know what? If they had been winning at half-time, the old Welsh heads would have gone down, wouldn't they? And the singing would rapidly have stopped.
Then a Harlech would have come to an end.
How old-fashioned it is to think that Wales still rule the world of rugby. In that world, that's where British Leyland are still on strike, and British rail sandwiches are curled at the corners, you know? Wales win the occasional game against Italy. But thank you for your text. And if you fancy having a crack at our competition, which this morning is over from last Friday, which boxer was originally called the Hitman before Ricky Hatton, 81800 is the text number. Start your message with on air. And our way of talking about the way in which we perceive ourselves as a nation on the global stage today in 2008 against all the other countries and their political systems and their democracies or otherwise, is to ask, which country do you think we ought to invade next? Again, the text number is 81800. Start your message with the words on air. 8:20, the very latest news now. From Rachel.
Dorset police have arrested 2 men in connection with 2 separate attacks on the same road in Bournemouth. A 29-year-old is being questioned over the murder of a 38-year-old man outside the Dolphin pub on Holdenhurst Road yesterday, and a 22-year-old's been arrested after an assault on a teenager near to the Subway food outlet. Police are continuing to search 7 sites at a Jersey youth hostel for more bodies. The remains of a child were found there on Saturday. Winchester motorists are calling for the council to step in to prevent speeding motorists. Cars are understood to be regularly exceeding the speed limit near the Tegdown Meads housing estates. There's been double joy for the Brits at the Oscars. Daniel Day-Lewis took Best Actor for There Will Be Blood, while Tilda Swinton claimed Best Supporting Actress for her role in Michael Clayton. And in sport, Tottenham manager Juan de Ramos has his first trophy in the cabinet in nearly 4 months at the helm. Spurs beat Chelsea 2-1 in the Carling Cup final. To the south weather, hazy sunshine with cloud thickening later. I'm Rachel Tregenza at the Original 106 News Centre.
Traffic update from Original 106. Belt up in the back. Think Hampshire Road Safety.
Anna.
Well, queuing traffic on the M27 remains this morning, and 1 lane blocked due to an earlier accident between Southampton and Junction 3 for Romsey. And those roadworks which began today on the M27 between Romsey and Southampton, causing big hold-ups for traffic headed eastbound. It's as slow as far back as Junction 2 for Totton, so do watch out for that one. The A351 Wareham in Dorset, that's currently blocked as well. That was down to a collision at Walgett Road. And slow moving on the M3 this morning if you are headed northbound between Junction 14 for the M27 and 12 for Eastleigh. You can also expect delays on the M271 northbound once again between junctions 1 and 3 for Romsey. Elsewhere, the A3 Alford Road, very busy outbound at Unicorn Road, that's in the Portsmouth area. And on the ferries, all Sandbanks ferries have just been cancelled at the moment between Poole and Studland. That's down to repairs, but we will keep updated on that one. Apparently they've been cancelled until around about 4 or 5 o'clock this afternoon. Anything else that you do spot, do give us a call here at the Original 106 Travel Centre, 08454 660 106.
Jeep, the original 4x4. All the rest are called SUVs because they just can't call them Jeeps. Now, Jeep Patriot has been awarded 4x4 of the year by 4x4 and MPV Driver magazine. So get your Jeep your way. Way 1. Get up to £2,500 off the list price on selected models. Way 2. Get 4.4% APR on selected models. Way 3. Get peace of mind with 3 years free servicing. To get your Jeep your way, visit jeep.co.uk or text Jeep to 83010. Jeep. Everything else is just a 4x4.
Original 106 Breakfast with Thompson Fly and Bournemouth Airport. Fly to Faro 5 times per week.
What's the matter, mate?
Oh, my leg's gone.
Better get you to A&E.
No, take me to one of them walking centres. They're great for this sort of thing.
Walking? Hobbling, more like.
NHS walk-in centres are staffed by specially trained nurses offering friendly and fast treatment to everyone every day of the year, including weekends and bank holidays. So for cuts and bruises, strains and sprains, coughs, colds and stomach upsets, get seen quickly, get better soon. Southampton's NHS walk-in centres are at Bitton, Shirley and with its new X-ray unit, the Royal Southampton Hospital. For details, visit nhs.uk.
Every day, hundreds of people look for tradesmen they can trust and retailers they can rely on. And every day, buywithconfidence.gov.uk helps them find exactly what they want. Buywithconfidence.gov.uk is an easy-to-use website that lists local tradesmen and retailers approved by trading standards. Shouldn't your business be there? Click buywithconfidence.gov.uk or call 08454 040506.
There's a lady in Jersey who runs a tortoise sanctuary, and her 75 tortoises this winter wouldn't go to sleep because the weather was so mild. And so she's been keeping them in the fridge. And from the photographs in the press this morning, it's clear that she also has no taste in wine. The open fridge shows one of them cheapos, semi-skim milk, that's to be expected. Does anybody drink full-fat milk anymore? I don't suppose they do, no. What else is in there? Some marge and some mayo. On air, Tommy, refrigeration is the new way to hibernate tortoises. It's practised everywhere now the winters are so mild, except in my house, as we have non-hibernating leopard tortoises. This is from Jason. 81800 is the number. And Jeff Morley in Ferndown enters the boxing competition. He says that the boxer previously called the Hitman, before Ricky Hatton, was Sugar Ray Leonard. Not right there, Jeff, but thank you for your crack at it. Text 81800, start your message with the words on air. And now that we're nearly at 8:30 and the house is beginning to settle down a little bit, or if you're motoring, you're probably... you've got one hand off the steering wheel, if you know what I mean, relaxing a little bit. I always think the first thing in the morning, we've got our routines down so off pat that we're rather travelling at great speed to, we come down, we put the kettle on, we stick a slice of toast in, we clear the sink whilst the kettle's boiling, we're kind of fast, aren't we?
Yeah, we do.
But we can start to chew the fat a little bit more after around about 8:25. The phone, if you want to get through to our switchboard and either leave a message, or you can come to air, of course, is 08454 660 106. Email address is studio@original106.com. If you're one of the listeners that we have around the world, good day to you. The contact the studio button on the website is not the best one to email me on, because that goes to my personal PC, which is across the other side of the building here at Original 106. You want to send an email to studio@original106.com, studio@original106.com, and that comes straight through to me in the studio, as do the texts. A reminder, it's 81800 is the text number. You can put that in your speed dial, because you never know. Start your message with the words on air. You probably need to stall that as one of your regular messages, and then you can probably do the thing in 3 or 4 thumb clicks. And that phone number again, the switchboard number again, is 08454 660 106. Emma, I've got you trying to contact the lady with 75 tortoises in the fridge.
Yep, I certainly am. Find out more about that.
Okay, we'll take a tune from Fleetwood Mac.
For love in the night so still. Oh, how to build you a kingdom in that house on the hill. Looking out for love. Big, big love. You said that you love me, and that you always will. Oh, you beg me to keep you in that house on the hill, looking out for love. Big, big
.831, Big Love, Fleetwood Mac. And Phil Thompson texts from Shirley with the correct answer to our boxing competition, which we're keeping open. As soon as I know just how many tickets the organisers have been kind enough to provide us with for a terrific evening with Ricky Hatton and Frank Bruno in the news, of course, at the moment, because he is said to be helping advise Paul Gascoigne as he returns from his emotional difficulties. Frank Bruno, who of course has been there himself. Jeremy has text, I drink 2 pints of full-fat milk a day. Lovely, Jeremy. We were saying just before Fleetwood Mac, Emma, that we see from the fridge, which is... I wouldn't want the inside of my fridge to be photographed on that without me having a chance to tidy it up a little bit. There's lots of things that have been in there too long.
Yeah, do you know, I've got a leftover Chinese from Saturday night. I think I should chuck that out, definitely.
My youngest son has taken to, if he can't finish his food, he puts the plate in the fridge, because that's easier than scraping the plate.
No.
That's why he does it.
He doesn't have it for breakfast or anything.
He certainly doesn't.
God.
Although pizza does taste better after about 2 days. Scientists don't know why.
Another one of your experiments.
Yeah, Monkey Man has also texted the correct answer to the boxing question, which is who was the world-famous boxer who used the nickname the Hitman. You'd have thought you could almost copyright boxing nicknames, wouldn't you, Emma? And yet we've had loads of sugars down the years.
Yeah, I was going to say, you mentioned that.
And,
yes.
And more than one Hitman. Ricky Hatton uses the nickname Hitman at the moment. We'll run it through today until 10 o'clock that is. If you think you know the name of the boxer who used the nickname the Hitman before. Ricky Hatton. 81800 is the text number. And start your message with the words "on air." We touched earlier on the show, Emma, on the problem, or concerns at least, that are thrown up by the poisons which are pumped out into the atmosphere by joggers. It's one of those activities that is seen as being holier than thou, isn't it?
It is. You're made to feel bad if you don't do it. But you were saying that it's not good for the environment.
Well, it just struck me, first of all, that when I was a boy, we were taught in biology that when a mammal exhales, it exhales largely carbon dioxide, which the body can only use in small quantities. So we ingest the oxygen and make use of that. Apparently we need a small amount of carbon dioxide, but the majority of it comes back out of our mouth and nose. How much? We know that a family car creates 175 grams of carbon per kilometre travelled.
Wow. Okay, yeah.
Which does mount up. Environmentalists will tell you that per passenger flying from Southampton to Manchester, okay, per passenger, okay, 94 pounds of carbon is created on that one journey alone.
Wow.
Now,
really?
that's a lot.
Yeah, sounds it.
It's about half what I weigh.
Right.
Okay, that's a lot of carbon. If those figures are correct. But those figures are no more likely to be correct than the one that I've come up with, which is the amount of extra carbon dioxide that is pumped out into the environment by joggers.
Okay.
Which, to give it some kind of context, in the case of the London Marathon, where 30,000 people run for around about 4 hours, some less, some more, but around about 4 hours, okay, 66 tons of carbon is created.
Is it really?
66 tons of carbon is created.
Wow.
And if you look at the amount of mileage that joggers have to do in order to get up to marathon standard, which is between 1,000 and 2,000 miles of training miles, okay?
Yeah.
And you calculate that and add all the extra carbon that's put out by casual joggers who just do a couple of miles twice a week, okay, of whom there are between 500,000 and 1 million in Britain.
Right.
Because it's not just jogging, it's also keeping fit, sitting on that bicycle in the gym. You are pumping out carbon.
Oh, okay, so
You
we
are
include
a
that as well.
Carbon dioxide machine. Okay, and it turns out that of this country's production of something like 500 million tonnes of carbon per year, which is aircraft, factories and cars, some 700,000 tonnes are created by people keeping heart. Also correct in Ringwood, thank you for that. Another anonymous text with the correct answer to the boxing quiz, and also we're asking, as a way of focusing on British foreign policy and our status in the world today, which country do you think we ought to invade next? And this gentleman emails, texts, invade Australia.
Oh, yeah.
Smug twits.
Oh,
He doesn't
dear.
actually say twits, but
Okay, I think we know
I'm
what
with
it
that
says.
one.
Are you?
I like Australians enormously, but they are so irritating with their arrogance and
Do you think?
utterly. So yeah, we should get Australia back, shouldn't we? Not that there's a lot of use for it. It's all sand and rock, isn't it? And alcohol.
That's true, yeah.
Why can't
Barbies.
Australians box? They reckon they're so hard, Australians. The only boxer they've ever had is an English-Hungarian called, what was his name again? Joe Bugner. That's the only Australian boxer.
Wow.
They've never had a boxer, they've never had a wrestler, they've never had a footballer. All they can play is cricket a bit.
They're good at swimming.
They've got one guy. And he's packed it up. Do you mean the torpedo?
Yeah, that's the one, yeah.
It's one guy. One guy. Just because Switzerland's got Federer doesn't mean that they are now the world's leading tennis-playing nation. No. I'm not sure what Australia are good for anymore.
Oh, no.
81800 is the text number. We're looking into tortoises with a lady in Jersey keeping her 75 tortoises in the fridge over the winter because the winters weren't cold enough. And we're hoping to have a conversation either with her, mad woman, or
a tortoise expert.
Yeah.
Believe you me, there are several.
I bet they'll be interesting people. It's just gone 20 to 9. Let's get the very latest news. From Rachel, hi.
Two separate police operations have been launched in Dorset following attacks on the same road in Bournemouth. A 38-year-old died from serious head injuries after being attacked near to the Dolphin pub on Holdenhurst Road yesterday. Officers are questioning a 29-year-old man on suspicion of murder. And a 22-year-old's being questioned about an assault outside the Subway food outlet yesterday morning, which resulted in a teenager needing hospital treatment. The girlfriend of convicted killer Steve Wright says she has no idea he was a murderer. Pamela Wright says she must see him one last time because she wants to know the truth behind the murders of 5 women in Ipswich in 2006. There's growing concern for the safety of people living near a Winchester housing estate. Residents of Tegdown Meads claim that lives are being put at risk because of speeding motorists. 2 major Oscars have gone to British actors. Daniel Day-Lewis took Best Actor for There Will Be Blood, while Tilda Swinton won Best Supporting Actress for Michael Clayton. And in sport, Tottenham players have been celebrating long into the night after lifting the Carling Cup yesterday with a 2-1 win over Chelsea at Wembley. To the south's weather, hazy sunshine but cloud likely to thicken later. I'm Rachel Tregenza at the Original 106 News Centre.
What are you implying, that they got hammered?
Well,
sounds like it, does it?
There may be a few sore heads among that team.
All right, nice one. Thank you for that. Lucky there.
Traffic update from Original 106. Only a fool breaks the 2-second rule. How close are you? Think. Hampshire Road Safety.
Latest travel news from Anna.
Well, queuing traffic on the M27 remains this morning, and 1 lane block. That was down to that earlier collision between Southampton and Junction 3 for Romsey. And those roadworks which began today on the M27 between Romsey and Southampton, causing big hold-ups for the traffic headed eastbound in particular. It's slow moving as far back as Junction 2 for Totton, big tailbacks there. Slow moving as well on the M3 this morning if you are heading northbound between Junction 14 for the M27 and 12 for Eastleigh. You could be held up there for some time. And you can expect delays on the M271 northbound between junctions 1 and 3, once again in the Romsey area. Portsmouth Road, very heavy at Itchen Bridge if you are heading west, and the A33 Bassett Avenue is slow moving at the moment, both ways where it meets the M3. On the ferries, all Sandbank ferries have been cancelled today between Poole and Studland. That's down to repairs, and that's likely to remain like that until around about 4 o'clock this afternoon. Anything else that you do spot, do give us a call here on the Original 106 Travel Centre, 08454 660 106.
A woman set off in her car as she pulled out of she waved at her. She passed a large and turned onto a busy where there was a huge traffic. Things cleared up with the help of and she was on her way again. It's easy to miss things on the road. The new Audi A4's innovative feature, Audi Side Assist, alerts you to vehicles in your blind spot, so you'll know what's going on around you. The new Audi A4 sees things before you do. Audi. Vorsprung. Technik.
Original 106 Breakfast with Thomson Fly and Bournemouth Airport. Fly to Salzburg 3 times per week.
My perfect weekend? It would be on the Norfolk Broads in a cosy boat made for 2. We'd pull up somewhere quiet and listen to the peace and the gently lapping water. Drink a good bottle of wine, eat some great old-fashioned food, like stew and dumplings, and then just cuddle up. Bliss.
Discover romantic English weekends from the people who've had them. England's best-kept secrets revealed at enjoyengland.com.
Last year, Business South, the South's premier business-to-business event, empowered more than 2,000 business professionals with the knowledge and contacts to help develop and grow their business. This year, you too could benefit. Business South 2008 comes to St Mary's Stadium, Southampton on March the 5th and 6th, and is completely free. It's your chance to learn from the experts on key business issues, benchmark your competitors, and identify new business opportunities. Business South 2008 at St Mary's Stadium, Southampton on March the 5th and 6th. Admission is free. For fast-track entry, pre-register online now at original106.com.
So, text quiz. Who was the first boxer to be nicknamed the Hitman? 81800. Start your message with on air. Text poll. Which country do you think we ought to invade next? 81800. Again, start your message with the words on air. We're talking about jogging and its threat to the environment, and we're also talking about tortoises, with a Jersey sanctuary owner putting 75 of her tortoises in the fridge over the winter, because the winter was so mild they wouldn't hibernate properly. And as we investigate tortoises, this from the ancient Greeks, who ate, and you know where this is going, wild donkeys, domestic donkeys, horse camel, bear, lion, leopard, boiling it once or twice, dogs, of course, they say, panther, as long as it's in good condition. How can you tell? I think there's a lot of roadkill here. Those chariots must have been really busy. Worms that live in trees, vipers and other snakes. And this, all Greeks eat tortoise every day.
No, that can't be true.
That's what it says. All Greeks eat tortoises every day. Although they have hard flesh and therefore are difficult to digest. So you probably want a Renier.
Will you tell me when the lights are fading? 'Cause I can't see no more. Will you tell me when the song stops playing? 'Cause I can't hear no more. She said, I don't know what you're living for. She said, I don't know what you're living for at all. He said, I don't know what you're living for. He said, I don't know what you're living for at all. Will you tell me when the fighting's over? 'Cause I can't take no more. Will you tell me when the day is done? 'Cause I can't run no more. She said, I don't know what you did it for. She said, I don't know what you did it for at all. He said, I don't know what you did it for. He said, I don't know what you did it for at all. Until there's nothing more to live for.
Yeah, I was talking to Dean outside the office. That's why I was late, because he was saying it's a great show.
Oh, that's nice of him.
I know. He had a complaint, though, which is that I didn't play a track he asked me to play.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
remember getting his text, but...
No pressure, but he's standing right outside. He can
he's
see
doing,
you,
he's
you in
doing
the
a little bit of essential on the building, and so we're grateful to him. He normally listens in West Dean, I think he said.
eye. All right.
Which is a ways away, isn't it? That's north of Chichester, isn't it? A nice spot, though. 9 minutes to 9. Besides looking at the damage that joggers do to the planet, pumping out all that carbon dioxide, it's a simple fact.
Anything to give up jogging, that's what I say.
It is a simple fact. It's an astonishing fact. Because I'm not convinced that there's all that in carbon dioxide and greenhouse gases and climate change.
What, you know...
I'm not convinced. I'm just not convinced yet. I can see some of the sense in a lot of the argument, but I'm just concerned about where the facts come from.
Yeah.
Who gives us the facts about temperature going up?
Al Gore. Say no more.
And the Met Office. and they're owned by the Ministry of Defence, which I still find the strangest thing I've discovered about the wonderful world in which we live this year. I stumbled on it a few weeks ago.
Right.
I can't believe, I cannot, for the life of me, work out why the Met Office, which is a globally respected organisation whose stats on climate change in particular are hungrily devoured by the whole of the world, not just the Western world, but the whole of the world, and treated as gospel, should be run by the organisation which is paid to defend the realm. If it was run by the environment, I would understand that. The Home Office, I would understand that. The Foreign Office, even.
So let me get this right. The Met Office report to the Ministry of Defence.
The Ministry of Defence took over the Met Office in 1998.
Right.
I think. And the representative of the Ministry of Defence on the board of the Met Office is the husband of a woman who kind of works for MI5.
Oh, God, no.
Yeah. That's according to my research.
Right. And you're not often wrong.
I'm pretty cute on these things. And I cannot for the life of me explain. I would love to have an explanation. I'm sure they will have one, whether or not we believe it. So I'm not sure about climate control. I'm not sure about the good or harm that joggers do to the planet. But we're also talking about tortoises. What have you got?
Yeah, well, we're following this story, of course, about a woman who's put her tortoises in the fridge because of, dare we say, climate change, a warm winter. Poor little things can't go to sleep, can they? So she's put them in the fridge with a bottle of Chardonnay, cheap Chardonnay. I'm going to try and get an expert on the phone to find out a bit more. Because, I mean, what's going to happen in the long run? I know you don't believe in climate change, but if it continues to get warmer each year, the old tortoise, the end of?
Well, surely tortoises would be happy not to hibernate.
They'd have more fun.
They would live longer, effectively. I mean, sleeping is a waste of time, isn't it? Going to sleep is quite pleasant. Waking up can be quite pleasant, as long as you don't have to get out of bed straight away.
Yeah.
Snoozing. Or what Keats called, what did he call it? Waking sleepfulness. Beautiful.
Yeah.
But the bit in between, it's just a nightmare. Literally. Does anybody have any dreams that aren't disturbing? Even the odd beautiful one is still a bit strange, isn't it?
Yeah.
It doesn't surprise me, and I think this information should be got out there, that we all need half an hour having woken up to get over our dreams. Because for 8 hours we have spent our lives doing ridiculous things, being chased around by midgets dressed as vegetables and jumping off cliffs and being shot at, and that's a typical night's dreaming.
Thing,
what do you dream about?
Well, I don't remember. I was just going to say, I don't remember what I dream about, but my other half has crazy dreams.
We all do.
Just like the ones you're describing.
We all have crazy dreams. They're all crazy. Crazy! Fine Young Cannibals. She drives me crazy. Tidy stuff. 5 to 9. Original 106, New Breakfast, Tommy Boyd and the team. Good morning. Text 81800. Start your message with on air. Which country do you believe we ought to invade next? Nine Young Cannibals, She Drives Me Crazy. Original 106, good morning, it's 2 minutes to 9.
Original 106 Breakfast with Thompson Fly and Bournemouth Airport. Fly to Palma 6 times per week.
You're making a difference. You're making the world a better place for me. You're making electricity.
Even on a cloudy day, you could get the power your home needs from a sun-powered energy system. You could get a government grant of up to £2,500. And once installed, your sun-powered energy costs you nothing. Conditions apply. Sun-powered energy systems. DTI accredited for your peace of mind. See us at sunpowered.co.uk or get a quote by calling 08000 18 22 12.
Because the future is sun-powered.
House values falling. Borrowing choices decreasing. Interest rates, who knows? Are you worried about the credit crunch? Well, don't. At the Place for Mortgages, we'll aim to ensure you're not bitten. With access to excellent mortgage deals, including fixed and capped rate mortgages, now's a great time to talk to us about remortgaging your home. The Place for Mortgages. Thousands of mortgage deals from hundreds of providers. And advice that really makes sense. The Place for Mortgages. Call 0845 226 8192 or click changingmymortgage.com.
Traffic updates from Original 106. Don't ever drink and drive. Think Hampshire Road Safety.
Anna.
Well, queuing traffic remains on the M27 this morning westbound. That was due to an earlier collision between junction 4 for Southampton and 3 for Romsey. And those roadworks on the M27, which did begin today between Romsey and Southampton, causing big hold-ups for the traffic headed eastbound. It's as slow as far back as junction 2 for Tottenham, but it does start to ease after you hit junction 4 there. Queuing traffic on the A3 for at least 3 miles at the moment. That's down to a multi-vehicle accident in the Berriting area. And slow-moving traffic on the M3 as well this morning if you are headed northbound between junction 14 for the M27 and 12 for Eastleigh. Elsewhere, Portsmouth Road still very heavy at Itchen Bridge if you are heading west, and the A33 Bassett Avenue, that's slow moving both ways where it meets the M3. All Sandbank ferries have been cancelled today between Poole and Studland. That's down to repairs. Apparently it's going to stay like that until at least 4 o'clock this afternoon. No further problems on the planes or the trains. Anything else that you do spot, do give us a call here on the Original 106 Travel Centre, 08454 660 106.
This morning discussing tortoises, which are in the news as a sanctuary has to keep theirs in the fridge to hibernate over the winter. Let's get the news now from Rachel Tregenza.
A murder investigation has been launched in Dorset after a man was attacked outside a pub in Bournemouth. The incident happened yesterday on Holdenhurst Road next to the Dolphin pub. The 38-year-old man suffered serious head injuries and was taken to Bournemouth Hospital but shortly died. Police have arrested a 29-year-old man. Meanwhile, a Dorset teenager has been treated for head injuries after being assaulted on the same road in Bournemouth. The 17-year-old was attacked outside the Subway food outlet in Holdenhurst Road early yesterday morning. A 22-year-old man from the area has been arrested in connection with the incident. Police are continuing to search 7 sites at a Jersey youth hostel for more bodies after the remains of a child were found there on Saturday. Officers were alerted to the former children's home after a child abuse investigation was launched last November. Sky's Mark Stone, who's there, says officers have drafted in experts to identify areas where they should dig.
They've been using a sniffer dog. In fact, it's the same sniffer dog that has been used in the Madeleine McCann investigation. That sniffer dog is now here in Jersey, and on its own, it's managed to identify 6 potential hotspots.
The girlfriend of Suffolk Strangler Steve Wright says she had no idea he was a murderer. Pamela Wright says he even bought her a personal attack alarm to make her feel safe. Last week he was convicted of killing 5 women in Ipswich in 2006. Speaking to Sky's Kay Burley, Pamela says she must meet him again.
I hate him for what he's done.
But you still want to see him that one last time?
I want to see him that one last time to tell me the truth. I want to hear it from him. I deserve that much, I think.
Hampshire police are trying to establish what caused a crash on the A3 in which a cyclist was seriously injured. The 20-year-old man is being treated for head injuries at the Queen Alexandra Hospital in Cosham. He was hit by a car on the nearby Southampton Road near to the Weimering Lane junction last night. The 23-year-old car driver, a woman from the Waterlooville area, required treatment for shock. Residents of a Hampshire housing estate are demanding action from the council over speeding motorists. People living in Tegdown Meads in Winchester are concerned that drivers are regularly exceeding the 30-mile-per-hour speed limit. They want the council to put up signs and change the road layout to prevent an accident. Annette Lodge lives in the area and told Original 106 that the issue's often ignored.
It's been a problem for a long time, but no one has ever sort of thought to do anything about it. Although it's a 30-mile speed limit, traffic regularly goes in excess of 40 miles an hour.
And European stars have scored a clean sweep in the acting honours at the Oscars for the first time in 43 years. As expected, Daniel Day-Lewis took Best Actor for There Will Be Blood, but in a slight surprise, Tilda Swinton won Best Supporting Actress for her role as a lawyer in Michael Clayton. Best Actress went to Marion Cotillard for La Vie en Rose, only the second time that the Oscars gone to a performance in a non-English-speaking role. She burst into tears after accepting her golden statue.
Members of the Academy, thank you so much. And, I'm speechless now.
In sport, Tottenham have won the Carling Cup for the first time in 9 years, also their first major trophy in that time. They beat Chelsea in a thrilling game at Wembley by 2-1 after extra time. Ex-Tottenham defender Gary Stevens says they're a much better side under boss Juan de Ramos.
Well, without doubt, they are a fitter side than they were prior to Ramos coming. And I think the other thing is that he started to install a winning mentality in them, and they're more professional than under the previous regime.
Birmingham defender Martin Taylor has paid 2 hospital visits to Arsenal striker Eduardo after breaking his leg on Saturday. Taylor was sent off for the foul, which he and his club say was an accident without malicious intent. After the match, boss Arsene Wenger said Taylor should never play again. He's since retracted his comments, which Paul McCarthy from the News of the World thinks was right to do.
Wenger's comments, although he retracted them sort of 7 or 8 hours later, were completely over the top in regards of Martin Taylor, and Arsene Wenger might do well to look at themselves in the aftermath of this and ask whether they are completely blameless in this sort of situation.
Original 106 weather with The Place for Mortgages, your barometer for the best mortgage deals. Click unlockthefuture.co.uk.
Hazy sunshine this morning, cloud thickening later, bringing a little rain in places, a moderate southwesterly wind and a high of 11 degrees. Check original106.com for our 5-day forecast. I'm Rachel Tregenza at the Original 106 News Centre.
Thanks for that, Rachel. What was that guy from the News of the World? What was he on about? Arsenal being responsible for things like that?
Yeah, well, did you see there's a photo of the injury which Eduardo got, and it just looks horrendous.
It is sickening. It's the third worst sporting accident I've ever seen, and congratulations to Sky for not showing it again during the game in slow motion, because you just couldn't stomach it.
It was horrendous.
Look, that News of the World guy was paying attention. I mean, he deals in words, doesn't he? What on earth is he doing saying that Arsene Wenger was over the top? That's what Thanks, Rachel. 6 minutes past 9.
Dodge. Don't just drive it. Grab life by the horns. Take the Dodge Nitro. One tough cookie. The metal might look mean, but your Dodge dealer's feeling generous. So you get the deal you like on the Dodge you want. Nitro, Caliber, Avenger. It's your Dodge, your way. Way 1. Get £2,008 off the list price across the range. Way 2. Get 5.9% APR across the range. Way 3. Get peace of mind with 3 years free servicing. To grab your Dodge your way, visit dodge.co.uk or text Dodge to 83010. Dodge. Tough cars. Hard-hitting deals.
Original 106 Breakfast with Thomson Fly and Bournemouth Airport. Fly to Alicante 5 times per week.
Morning. The text poll this morning is: which country do you think we ought to interfere with next? We're interfering with Iraq at the moment, and we're interfering in Afghanistan and possibly several other countries undercover. But which country do you think we ought to overtly interfere with next? It used to be called invading, by the way. 81800 is the number. Start your message with the words "on air."
it's true. They got a message from the action man. I'm happy, hope you're happy too. I've loved all I've needed love, saw the details fall away. The shrieking when nothing is giving, just pictures of trap girls and synthesis. And I ain't got no money and I ain't got no hair. But I'm hoping to kick Britain's light is glowing, ashes to ash and funk to bucket. We know Major Tom's a junkie, strung out in heaven's high, hitting an all-time low.
David Bowie and Ashes to Ashes. It's just gone 9:10 on a fantastic Monday morning. It's Original 106, New Breakfast with Tommy and the team. If you spot anything on the roads, let us know. Anna will be along in less than 10 minutes with the latest travel update. Emma's been looking into tortoises, which are edible.
Well, I'm trying to find out if they are or not, but I have found out that there's a restaurant in London called the Hare and Tortoise Noodle Bar.
Right,
read into that what you want.
Sell hare and tortoise.
I don't think so. I'd hope not. You eat rabbit, so hare maybe.
This text: what amount of CO2 per kilometre for a cyclist? Should they pay Ken's environmental charge? And let's invade Sudan.
Okay.
Okay, and turn things around for them, because Sudan's having a bad time, isn't it?
That's
really?
true, yeah.
So that's a good thought. And the Chinese, we're saying, and Steven Spielberg is saying, aren't really helping out there. So, that text comes on the back of our discovery that joggers are pumping out a heck of a lot of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. And they're only doing it for their own health. So it's not as though we get any other benefit besides it.
Okay.
At least if all the people in the gymnasiums who get on those cycling machines were connected to a massive dynamo somewhere, then we would be able to harness all that energy and feed it back into the national grid.
I like that idea.
But again, Keep Fit people are so self-centred about their own physique and their own pecs and everything, they don't give a hoot about anything else, the damage that they're doing. 5 men running along are giving out as much carbon dioxide as a Porsche 911.
No.
This is an astonishing statistic, which we It's original. We got it. We worked it out. That's how much carbon they're pumping out. The same amount as a 911. Right?
Wow.
5 men running.
Wow.
Give you some idea. But I go over a toll bridge twice a day now.
yeah.
And I am slightly miffed that everybody is stopped and made to pay various charges. 50p, a pound, 20 pence if you're a motorcyclist and it's not peak time. It's all carefully structured. But cyclists just go flying through. And they're using a bridge that's cost money to build, and they're pumping out carbon dioxide. Not as much as my TVR, I know, but they are pumping out carbon dioxide, so they should be paying something.
You should contribute. I'd go with that. Not that I'm a cyclist.
Tamsin emails, I agree with you. We need time to recover from our dreams in the morning. This is a new theory that we're exploring, that
Crazy dreams.
dreaming is so disturbing, destabilising. When we wake up in the morning, it's no surprise that our brains are all over the place a bit.
Yeah.
We're a little bit paranoid, a little bit skitsy, a little bit insecure, paranoid. It's because we've just spent 8 hours, in a ludicrous environment.
Chasing dinosaurs.
Being chased by dinosaurs. She says, I had a crazy dream last night. I was chewing a tortoise whilst running the marathon. I got home and my fridge was full of joggers. This is somebody who pays attention to the show.
We like that.
Jack on the Isle of Wight says, we should invade America. They've caused more problems in the world than anyone else in history.
Yeah, we wouldn't have a chance though, would we? Let's be honest.
We should be grateful because they tidied things up in 1916 and 1942
They did.
for Europe.
They helped us out.
We shouldn't forget that. But Jack, thank you for your nomination. You say we invade the United States. 81800 is the text. Start your message with the words on air. And we don't think we're going to be able to get a tortoise expert on air, which is probably just as well, because what are they going to be like, tortoise experts?
Don't know. They're not probably do you think they'll be slow?
What motivates an adult to have one tortoise, never mind about 75?
They're not the cutest of things, are they?
What can you get out of a
They're quite
tortoise?
freaky.
They are. I just don't see the point. You can't play with them. They don't have a personality, although I'm sure their owners will say that some of them are quite headstrong and the others are quite shy.
And you don't get unconditional love with a tortoise like you do with a dog, you know.
And there's a lot of ignorance about tortoises. We had tortoises when I was a boy.
Did you?
And they were fed on tomato and lettuce. And it turns out they're carnivores. They eat flesh.
Oh.
You should give them dog food.
Really?
And like Gascoigne, you should give them chopped liver. Raw.
Gosh, okay.
Yeah. But we had, our tortoise went missing.
How far did it go?
We don't know. We went on holiday and we thought the garden was, like the tortoise couldn't escape.
Yeah.
But it obviously was the Steve McQueen of tortoises.
It got on its motorbike and it got over that barbed wire fence.
He got out, and wherever he did it, we don't know. We never know. 45 years on, we don't know how he escaped and where he went.
And he's probably still out there because they live, till some of them live till they're 150.
They do.
Things.
They do, but why?
They haven't had an interesting life, have they?
What is it about the tortoise's day to day that gives it imbues it with this lust for another day?
You kind of want to quit, wouldn't you?
So what we did was, the next time we got a tortoise, my grandfather drilled a small hole in the bottom corner of its shell, and we tied it to a bucket.
Yeah.
What a eccentric, bizarre childhood I had for that alone.
It explains a lot.
So the tortoise, which actually, because it is vaguely interesting, the tortoise was tied to a bucket. But it was a plastic bucket, but it was strong enough to pull the bucket around the garden.
So
cruel. If you wanted to see where the tortoise was, you just watched the moving bucket. And you knew that it was about 10 feet from that. But one summer day, it dug a hole in the garden and laid 4 eggs, which was very poignant.
Oh, wow.
Because they clearly couldn't be live eggs. Or at least we didn't think they could be live eggs, because how could the tortoise have mated?
Well, I was going to ask that. How do they mate?
But then we wondered whether the tortoises needed to be mated in order to lay fertile eggs.
Right.
So we very carefully put the 4 eggs in some sand, building sand, in a biscuit tin, and put it in the airing cupboard. And it's one of those memories you have as a child. I used to go to that airing cupboard first thing in the morning, as soon as I got home from school, after tea, halfway through the evening, before I went to bed, constantly. Oh, please let there be.
Oh, how cute!
A baby tortoise coming through, but no. And one day I went and they weren't there. I didn't ask. It was just thrown away.
Down the toilet.
But there's little things like that that sort of build up your childhood, isn't it, really?
Absolutely. I was still thinking about a tortoise dragging along a bucket.
I don't know where he got the idea, my grandfather, for that one. But his father before him was a butcher, so I just don't know. Stop and Stare and One Republic. Coming up to 9:20. Morning.
This town is cold enough. I think it's sick of us. It's time to make a move. I'm shaking off the rust. I've got my heart set on anywhere but you. I'm staring down myself, counting up the years. Steady hands, just take the wheel. Every glance is killing me. Time to make one last appeal for the life I live. Stop and stare. I think I'm moving, but I go nowhere. Yeah, I know that everyone gets scared, but I've become what I can't be. Oh, stop and stare. You start to wonder why you're here, not there, and you give anything to get what's fair, but failing what you really need. Oh, can you see what I see? They're trying to come back. All my senses push and tie the weight back. I never thought I could. Steady feet, don't fail me now. I'm a road till you can't walk. Something pulls my focus out, and I'm standing down. Stop and stare. I think I'm moving, but I go nowhere. Yeah, I know that everyone gets scared, but I've become what I can't be. Oh, stop and stare. You start to wonder why you're here, not there, and you give anything to get what's fair, but failing what you really need. Oh, you don't and stare. I think I'm moving, but I go nowhere. Yeah, I know that everyone gets scared. I become what I can't be. Oh, do you see what I see?
That's One Republic and Stop and Stare at 9:20. So no tortoise for you when you were little,
No.
Emma, but the pet that died on you first and made you realise that we're not here forever was a...
Goldfish.
Yeah, well...
Pretty rubbish. Oh, then a cat. Just like, that would probably be probably more exciting.
Yeah.
Kermit.
Yeah. It's a
Okay.
shattering event, isn't it?
It is.
When it happens.
Yeah.
81800 is the text number. Start your message with on air, or you can call. Switchboard is open 08454 660 106.
When you've been travelling long distances and you're tired, it's easy to lose concentration on the road. This can lead to you accidentally drifting out of your lane. The new Audi A4 is available with Audi Lane Assist. With the help of an innovative image recognition camera, it's able to detect when this is happening, alerting the driver to keep the car in the correct lane. The new Audi A4. sees things before you do. Audi. Vorsprung durch Technik.
Original 106 Breakfast with Thomson Fly and Bournemouth Airport. Fly to Malaga 6 times per week.
She looks fine now.
I was so worried when she fell, though.
I bet you were.
But the nurses were brilliant at the walk-in centre, looked after her so well and checked her out in no time. Even told her a story to keep her happy. Yeah, she's right as rain.
NHS walk-in centres are staffed by specially trained nurses, offering friendly and fast treatment to everyone every day of the year, including weekends and bank holidays. So for cuts and bruises, strains and sprains, coughs, colds and stomach upsets, get seen quickly. Get better soon. Southampton's NHS walk-in centres are at Bitton, Shirley and the Royal Southampton Hospital. For details, visit nhs.uk.
Every day, hundreds of people look for tradesmen they can trust and retailers they can rely on. And every day, buywithconfidence.gov.uk helps them find exactly what they want. Buywithconfidence.gov.uk is an easy-to-use website that lists local tradesmen and retailers approved by trading standards. Shouldn't your business be there? Click buywithconfidence.gov.uk or call 08454 040506.
So I finally blurted it out and told them what I thought. Now I'm jobless.
Oh, no. There is another way. For a better office job, click ascenduk.com.
Original 106.
Let's check with Anna Love, the latest on the roads. Anna, hi.
Well, hello. That earlier accident on the M27 westbound between Southampton and Romsey, that's now been cleared. The traffic beginning to ease there. It is likely to remain heavy eastbound on the M27, though. That's down to those roadworks between junctions 3 and 4 at Southampton. Tailbacks as far back to junction 2 for Tottenham. The early problems on the A3 have now been cleared, but slow traffic does remain on the M3 this morning if you are heading northbound at junction 14 for the M27 and 12 for Eastleigh. And although that accident has been cleared on the M27, you can still expect some hold-ups westbound between Hedge End and Eastleigh as well. Elsewhere, Portsmouth Road still looking slow this morning at Itchen Bridge, and the A33 Bassett Avenue also busy both ways at the M3. Don't forget, all Sandbank ferries have been cancelled today between Poole and Studland. That's down to emergency repairs. Apparently, it will be back to normal service at around about 4 o'clock this afternoon. No further problems on the planes or the trains. Anything else that you do spot, do give us a call on the original 106 Travel Centre, 08454 660 106.
Thanks.
Love is strange. Many people take it for a game. kisses I will miss. Those kisses I will miss. Those kisses I will miss. Those kisses I will miss.
Start the show off every morning just after 7 o'clock with an attempt, and we're successful. I think we're 100% on making you laugh. Anna, you heard this morning's, and it was a perler, wasn't it?
Was good.
It was very good.
Yeah, it was funny.
Shall we take a listen to it again?
Yeah, let's go on.
All right, okay. Yeah, it's just a straightforward prank call. It's an American radio station. It's one of the best I've ever heard because it completely backfires.
At your husband's work?
Oh, hi, how are you?
Second, let's start it again.
Hello, Lois. This is Mike. I'm the personnel director here at your husband's work.
Oh, hi, how are you?
I'm fine, and how are you?
Fine.
Lois, are you sitting down?
Yes?
Well, I have some bad news.
What do you mean bad news? Bob's okay, isn't he?
Well, actually, that's why I called to talk to you. It's about Bob, and I know that he's been an employee here for a very long time, but I'm afraid we're going to have to let Bob go.
What do you mean? Hey, that's not very fair. He's been very loyal to you.
Look, I can understand you feeling that way.
Feeling that way? You don't understand. We just had a baby.
No, I understand that.
This is a very hard time to do this kind of a thing.
Yes, it is, but Bob has kind of forced our hand on this.
Why are you firing him?
We caught him doing his secretary on his office desk.
Oh, that son of a bitch!
Look, I know you're upset.
Upset is not the word. That stupid, rotten son of a bitch. I can't believe this.
He's on his way home right now, and he's going to need your support.
Support my ass! I'm going to change the locks on the door. I'm throwing his outside on the front lawn. He can just have it all. I'm not even going to be here when he gets back. And now, I don't feel so bad about his brother.
Lois. Casey and Ron. It's a joke. Your husband put us up. It's your birthday. Happy birthday!
Revenge is sweet.
Beautiful. Yeah, you laugh out loud, Anna, every time? I know I do. It's fabulous. Where's Anna this morning?
Have we lost her?
Looks like it. Yeah, you're there.
Hello?
Hello, they got you.
I couldn't hear you before.
No, well, you're broadcasting from the original 106 Travel Centre, so I can't even see the back of your head from where you are. But, therefore I couldn't see whether your shoulders were heaving during that. But ours were.
It was very good.
The way she turns.
Yeah.
The way she just completely turns.
Do you know what, when I first heard it though, I did think, is this a bit of a you know when we were talking before, is it a bit of a setup? Are they in on it? But then I think her reaction at the end, you kind of realise, no, perhaps not.
Well, the bit about sleeping with his brother is...
It's great. You need a line like that stored up just in case, don't you? In case you ever get a call like that.
Yeah. Funnily enough, whilst we were on a tune, Emma and I were talking about adultery. How did we get around to talking about adultery?
I have no idea.
But I was saying, private detective hire is on the up.
That's it, yes. More people are hiring private detectives than ever before to track their partner.
Yeah. But this is adultery just in relation to sex, isn't it?
Well, I guess so. What other ways are there?
Well, I think
to
there are so
commit
many
adultery?
ways of being disloyal to your partner by speaking badly of them to friends and other members of your family.
Maybe.
Or being more emotionally intimate with somebody that you're close to.
Sharing secrets and stuff.
Yeah, you may not necessarily, have made love, but if you can be emotionally disloyal to your partner, and personally, I'd be more harmed by that, I think.
Would you?
If my wife came home and said that she had to betray the fact that she was more open and discussed more important things in greater depth with some bloke at work.
Right.
I would be...
You'd feel bad.
I think I would be more damaged
you?
by that than if I found out that she'd gone to a conference and had too much Asti Spumante.
Yeah.
And blotted her copybook.
Oh, would you? Oh, I wouldn't. I'd be far worse with the old, too much.
The old sex.
Yes.
Okay. So you didn't hire anybody to track your husband when he went off to Blackpool for last weekend?
Well, he went with two mates.
That's even worse, isn't it?
Well, I don't know. I kind of thought that was a safety net.
How close is he to these two mates?
Pretty close.
Hello.
Listen, he shared a room with one of them. It was a
I'd
hotel.
never do that.
They had no twin beds left. They had to share a double bed. Two 40-year-old men. Isn't that
couldn't
great?
possibly do that.
I bet
Do you share a bed with women?
I have done, yes.
And you're not embarrassed?
No, not at all.
Anna?
Have I ever shared a bed with a woman? Oh, many times, yeah.
And you're not embarrassed?
Not at all, no.
Do you top and tail?
I imagine guys would do the top and tail, wouldn't they? Just to kind of make sure they have the macho-ness about them as well.
Well, my husband shared a room with his mate on Saturday night. They did put pillows down the bed.
Oh, they didn't?
Yeah, they did like that Steve Martin Planes, Trains and Automobiles sketch.
So silly. Oh, bless.
I wouldn't even do it. I'd go to the bar and spend all night in the bar.
Well.
I wouldn't do it. I just wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
What are you embarrassed about?
It's just something wrong about it. Something public school about it.
Are you afraid of rolling over and forgetting it's your friend and not your partner and giving him a hug?
No,
Yes, he
absolutely
is,
not.
Anna.
I don't know.
Is it your pants? Are you embarrassed about the state of
You
your
can
underwear?
phone 08454 660 106, text 81800, start your message with on air. If you get a moment for a nice paragraph, an email, the address is studio@original106.com. Lucia Hughes has text, although it's not Lucia's real name. Talking of pets, what's your porn star name, which is the name of your first pet and your mum's maiden name?
No.
Yeah, so your first pet, Emma, was called?
Kermit.
Kermit, and your mother's maiden name was?
Doody.
Kermit Doody, that is a porn star. Anna?
Mine's quite interesting. My first pet was called Muffin, my little cat.
Quite.
Going well.
And my mother's maiden name is Osborne, so Muffin Osborne.
You are all making it up, you two, aren't you?
I'm really not. This is a thing.
It's this on the Fantasy Channel one day.
Text 81800, start your message with on air. Morning from Original 106. It's New Breakfast with Tommy Boyd and the team.
We could be
It's a tune that was once at another radio station I worked, subject to a disastrous and I suspect deliberate typing error in the title. It's Walking on the Moon by The Police. It's 22:10. Still time to enter if you want our boxing competition, giving away tickets to meet Ricky Hatton and Frank Bruno an evening with. We want the name of the boxer who was originally nicknamed the Hitman before Ricky Hatton. 81800 is the number. If you start your text on air, you can just text the initials of the boxer who was originally the Hitman. The number again is 81800 and start your message with on air. And we're also keeping that book open on which country you would most like us to interfere in next. We're interfering in Iraq and Afghanistan and probably quite a few others as well that gets less publicity. But which country would you most like us to interfere with? We've had Australia nominated, quite a few nominations for the United States of America. Zimbabwe has been, I think, an important and profound nomination by a number of people. We've had Denmark, we've had Holland nominated, Greece.
Yeah, Belgium.
81800 is the number there. You can begin your message with on air. And not surprisingly, we've also had Scotland and Wales nominated. Wales quite a few times. And Ireland as well, although anybody who's nominating that we interfere in Ireland really has not been paying attention over the last 200 years.
We just sorted that out.
Sort of. 20:10.
Original 106 Breakfast with Thomson Fly and Bournemouth Airport. Fly to Prague 4 times per week.
After 20 years on the factory floor, I fancied a desk job, but I knew my English would let me down. But when I found a Learn Direct course called Away with Words for Men Who Do Tons of Overtime to Fund Their Wives' Attempts to Turn a Small Semi into Buckingham Palace, well, that was it. Sales and marketing. How can I help you?
Get a nationally recognised English qualification. Call 0800 101 901 or pop into your local Learn Direct Learning Centre. Learn Direct skills and qualifications. Ready when you are.
You're changing my world. You're changing it for the better. You're changing to sun power.
It's easier than you may think to generate your own electricity or to heat your water by the power of the sun. And Sun-Powered Energy Systems will show you how. They could help you get a grant of up to £2,500. And once installed, your Sun-Powered Energy costs you nothing. You can even sell the power you don't use. Conditions apply. Sun-Powered Energy Systems. DTI accredited for your peace of mind. Call 08000 18 22 12.
Because the future is sun-powered.
Got another one of these strange phone calls which I'd like to just let you listen to, Emma, to see whether it's going to be good to start tomorrow's show off with. Okay. It's a guy who is pretending to be a campaign organizer in America.
Right.
He's pretending that he's got a serious point that he wants to get across, that he's done a lot of research, and he wants people to consider signing up to his campaign. And he manages to get himself onto an American chat show, news program.
Okay.
And he gets himself in debate with somebody who genuinely believes the opposite of what he believes.
Right.
And what he's saying, I think, is that breastfeeding is wrong. Not just in public, but in private. Because it imbues men with an unhealthy fixation.
What?
And he does it all with a...
Should women be allowed to breastfeed in public? One of our guests tonight says absolutely not. Jim Rogers is the East Coast spokesman for Citizens Against Breastfeeding. And Leslie Burby is the vice president of ProMom. So, Jim, let's start with you. What's wrong with breastfeeding in the open? Is it too sexy?
Our position is, after 22,000 respondents have been interviewed using primarily the Minnesota Monophasic Personality Profile, mothers are getting erotic experiences by breastfeeding. Also, we found in a number of cases, and this is only a 2-year study, so it's just a warning flag, many youngsters grow up to become, shall we say, antisocial because of the long breastfeeding period when they are addicted to the mother's breast, and they have this oral gratification need that manifests itself into smoking, drinking, and in one instance, Monica Lewinsky, who was breastfed until she was 4 years old.
I think they call those erotic experiences bonding. Leslie, do you have any reaction to what Jim is saying?
Well, with due respect, had I known that Jim was going to be on the show, I don't know that I would have agreed to appear.
No, I think that's absolutely brilliant. I'm 99% certain that this guy is a hoax.
Yeah.
He doesn't run a pressure group.
Yeah.
And he made his stuff up about the 22,000 people who were surveyed and the Minnesota, what was it, mammary profiling thing. But nevertheless, he's fooled them. He's fooled the news service into interviewing him. I guess he sent them a press release or something. And they went so far as to get somebody into the studio to debate against him.
How gullible are they?
I know, but it's quite clever, isn't it?
It is, yes, it is.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
'Cause, I just want to hear it one more time. I think we'll play it tomorrow morning as our little laughing bit.
Should women be allowed to breastfeed in public? One of our guests tonight says absolutely not. Jim Rogers is the East Coast spokesman for Citizens Against Breastfeeding. And
the thing about the guy is he's got two main points. One, it arouses women. That can't be true, can it?
I wouldn't have thought so, no. Let's be honest.
I can't think that's true. But the other is that it does lend itself to what is known, I think, amongst psychiatrists to be this sort of oral fixation thing, because some people have to have oral gratification. They have to be eating something or smoking a cigarette.
Okay.
I don't know, the remark about Monica Lewinsky is what confirms it for me that this guy is a fake.
Leslie Burby is the vice president of ProMom. So, Jim, let's start with you. What's wrong with breastfeeding in the open? Is it too sexy?
Our position is, after 22,000 respondents have been interviewed using primarily the Minnesota Monophasic Personality Profile, mothers are getting erotic experiences by breastfeeding. Also, we found in a number of cases, this is only a 2-year study, so it's just a warning flag, many youngsters grow up to become, shall we say, antisocial because of the long breastfeeding period when they are addicted to the mother's breast, and they have this oral gratification need that manifests itself into smoking, drinking, and in one instance, Monica Lewinsky, who was breastfed until she was 4 years old.
I think they call those erotic experiences bonding. Leslie, do you have any reaction to what Jim is saying?
Well, with due respect, had I known that Jim was going to be on the show, I don't know that I would have agreed to appear.
I like that she respects it. I wouldn't have even gone that far.
He's so clever in doing all the things that these so-called experts do, like basing it all on some survey.
Research, yes.
And also saying that, I love that line about, this is just a 2-year study to date, so this is just an early warning flag.
It's like the bottom of the ninth, and I'm never gonna win this. Life hasn't turned out quite the way I want it to be. Tell me what you want. I want a brand new house on an episode of Cribs, and a bathroom I can play baseball in, and a king-size tub big enough for 10 plus me. What you need? I'll need a credit card that's got no limit, and a big black jet with a bedroom in it. Gonna join the Mile High Club at 37,000 feet. Been done. I want a new tour bus full of old guitars, Lone Star on Hollywood Boulevard. Somewhere between Cher and James Dean is fine for me. So how you gonna do it? I'm gonna trade this life for fortune and fame. I'd even cut my hair and change my name. Cause we all just wanna be big rock stars and live in hilltop houses, driving 15 cars. The girls come easy and the drugs come cheap. Well, I'll stay skinny cause we just won't eat, and we'll hang out in the coolest bars in the VIP with the movie stars. Every good gold digger's gonna wind up there. Every playboy bunny with a bleached blonde hair. And well, hey, I wanna be a rock star. Hey, I wanna be a rock star. I wanna be great like Elvis without the tassels. Hire 8 bodyguards that love to beat up assholes. Sign a couple autographs so I can eat my meals for free. I have the quesadilla. I'm gonna dress my ass with the latest fashion, get a front door key to the Playboy Mansion, gonna date a centerfold that loves to blow my money for me. So how you gonna do it? I'm gonna trade this life for fortune and fame. I'd even cut my hair and change my name, 'cause we all just wanna be big rock stars and live in hilltop bosses driving 15 cars. The girls come easy and the drugs come cheap. Well, I'll stay skinny 'cause we just won't eat, and we'll hang out in the coolest bars in the VIP with the movie stars. Every good gold digger's gonna wind up there. Every playboy bunny with a bleached blonde hair, and we'll hide out in the private rooms with the latest dictionary of today's zoo. They'll get you anything with that evil smile. Everybody's got a drug dealer on speed dial. Well, hey, hey, I wanna be a rock star. We're gonna sing those songs that offend the senses. Gonna pop my pills from a best dispenser. Get washed up singers writing all my songs. Let's sing them every night so I don't get them wrong. Well, we all just wanna be big rock stars and live in hilltop houses driving 15 cars. The girls come easy and the drugs come cheap. We'll all stay skinny 'cause we just won't eat, and we'll hang out in the coolest bars in the VIP with the movie stars. Every good gold digger's gonna wind up there. Every playboy bunny with a bleached blonde hair, and we'll hide out in the private rooms with the latest dictionary of today's zoo. They'll get you anything with that evil smile. Everybody's got a drug dealer on speed dial. Well, hey, hey, I wanna be a rock star. Hey, hey, I wanna be a rock star.
Yes. And dressed his ass in the latest style. Well, I'm sure any self-respecting donkey. No, rock star. It's just gone 10 to 10. Just to round up, this morning we've been investigating tortoises in the light of the big breaking news story this morning about the Jersey Tortoise Sanctuary, where the lady keeps her 75 tortoises in the fridges.
Yes, she does.
Because it's been too mild this winter for them to need to hibernate. And knowing nothing about tortoises, I passed on the only thing that I've seen on one of those wildlife programs, which is that they're not vegetarian, they like meat, and if you can't get a steady supply of bugs for them, then dog food, dog meat will do the business. But Jason emails, texts, and he obviously knows his stuff with tortoises. He says, could you retract the myth about tortoises eating dog food? They shouldn't. It's got too much protein and it's bad for them. He then adds, my 2-foot-long 4-stone leopard tortoises, plural.
Oh, wow.
Has bundles of personality. Fantastic. So I suppose keep them in the house. You've got moving furniture.
Yeah, if you had a little kiddie, they could sit on them as they walked around.
Or an adult could as well.
That would be fun.
It would be ridiculous, but fun. I found out some things about tortoises too. Land-dwelling turtles is what they are.
Okay.
But then I suppose you could say that turtles are aquatic tortoises.
That's right.
Odd business. The top part of the shell is the carapace and the underside is the plastron, and the two are connected by the bridge. Tortoises have an endoskeleton and an exoskeleton. They can vary in size from a few centimetres to 2 metres.
It's funny. Meters? Wow.
I know, we as a species are all almost exactly the same size, aren't we? You get the occasional 8-foot man.
Yeah.
The occasional 2'3" woman.
Yeah.
But generally speaking, we're all locked between about 5'3" and 6'4".
We are. You're absolutely
which is boring,
right.
isn't it, really?
Yeah.
Compared to tortoises.
2 metres?
Some a few centimetres and some 6 feet long. Can you imagine if there were human beings who were a few centimetres? Wouldn't it make life complicated?
You'd squash him, wouldn't you?
Just think how you'd have to redesign so many of our social venues for a start.
The cinema.
Dancing, how would that work? It wouldn't, would it?
It would change dating forever, wouldn't it?
But here's the thing. I've discovered that tortoises, besides being low maintenance pets because they sleep for 3 months out of every year, they're also crepuscular. which I did not know means
No, I
that
don't know what that
they're
means.
at their most playful during the twilight hours.
Are they now?
Yeah.
We don't want to know anymore, do we, Jason?
So get yourself a tortoise, and you're almost guaranteed no fun.
Tortoise bashing today.
Meredith Brooks towards travel and news at 10 o'clock, and after 10 o'clock, of course, it's Richard Skinner on Original 106. Morning.
I hate the world today. You're so good to me, I know, but I can't change. Tried to tell you, but you look at me like maybe I'm an angel underneath, innocent and sweet. Yesterday I cried. It must have been relieved to see the softer side. I can understand how you'd be so confused. I don't envy you. I'm a little bit of everything, all rolled into one. I'm a bitch, I'm a lover, I'm a child, I'm a mother, I'm a sinner, I'm a saint. I do not feel ashamed. I'm your hell, I'm your dream. I'm nothing in between. You know you wouldn't want it any other way. So take me as I am. This may mean you'll have to be a stronger man. Rest assured that when I start to make you nervous and I'm going to extremes, tomorrow I will change and today won't mean a thing. I'm a bitch, I'm a lover, I'm a child, I'm a mother, I'm a sinner, I'm a saint. I do not feel ashamed. I'm your hell, I'm your dream. I'm nothing in between. You know you wouldn't want it any other way. Just when you think you got me figured out, the season's already changing. I think it's cool you do what you do, and don't try to save me. I'm a bitch, I'm a lover, I'm a child, I'm a mother, I'm a sinner, I'm a saint. I do not feel ashamed. I'm your hell, I'm your dream. I'm nothing in between. You know you wouldn't want it any other way. I'm a bitch, I'm a tease, I'm a goddess on my knees. When you hurt, when you suffer, I'm your angel undercover. I've been numb, I'm revived. Can't say I'm not alive. You know I wouldn't want it any other way.
That's Meredith Brooks. And one called bitch. Somehow not a word you expect from somebody called Meredith. But what do I know? Nearly 10 o'clock.
Original 106 Breakfast with Thomson Fly and Bournemouth Airport. Fly to Faro 5 times per week.